Hello, everybody. Come on in. Pull up a microphone. We've got plenty of them. It's Coffee, Country, and Cody. I'm Kelly Sutton. Charlie Mattos right here. Aaron Cooper on the board.
Hey.
Behind me. Annie Nye behind her.
Hi, Annie.
We have a full house today with most of us here. Jeff Roberts in Master Control. I see him. And we're on the air, so that means we're working.
Somebody's not here.
Oh, gosh.
Who are we missing?
No, I think we're good. It sounds good.
All right.
Feels good.
Hi.
All right, welcome. And Darin Brooke Aldridge are coming in to see us.
That's who we're missing.
That's who we're missing.
Brand new album out tomorrow, but we're going to get a little
good.
sneak preview of that today. Very exciting.
And they get to play the Grand Ole Opry on their album release day.
Yeah, that's pretty cool, isn't it? That's a good album release show.
That is a
Grand Ole
great
Opry.
album release show. And of course, we're just joking because our friend Bill Cody is still in the arms of Blake Shelton in Las Vegas. He always says that about me. I could say it about him.
He does, yes.
That's the last time we saw him. He was hugging Blake Shelton at Old Red. They were drinking a Blake-A-Rita, laughing, enjoying life, and then we just haven't heard from him since.
Bill
I'd pay to be a fly on the wall for that scenario.
Bill went on Spring Blake without us. How dare he?
Yes.
Oh, he did do Spring Blake. Very nice. Very, very nice. Yeah. The new Old Red is now open.
Yep.
Blake christening that place in Las Vegas. It looks fantastic from what we've seen. We're still here, so maybe one day we'll get to go out there and gamble our money away. I don't like Vegas. It's not my favorite city. I'll just be honest. I love going to see shows and things there, but just like being in the casino, not good at it. Not good at it.
I fell in love with it. The last time I went a couple of years ago for the ACMs was the first time I ever went, and I loved it. I love Times Square. In New York.
love Times Square.
And Vegas is like 3 miles of Times Square.
Except
so
they want your money and they want you to play it like as soon as you walk in.
I know, but
some of that.
You know.
I know. Yeah. No, you can overlook that. Hey, we got a lot of stuff to talk about coming up in entertainment headlines, including Dolly making another headline, this time with Beyonce. So that is very, very cool. Jelly Roll actually debuted a new song on the Grand Ole Opry with you.
Got a great reaction to it. Crowd loved it. Yeah.
So we're going to talk about that coming up. Plus 420 if you celebrate. Some people call it a holiday. Hello. Good morning, everybody. Welcome in. Coffee, Country, and Cody on this fine Thursday morning. Sitting across from Charlie Mattos, Aaron Cooper is running our board. Annie Nye in the back. I feel like this is a fun little shuffle. Everybody just pick a chair, sit down, and figure out if you can do that job.
Do you have, like, in your living room, do you have, like, your spot, like your chair, your spot on the sofa?
Yes.
Yeah, and it's like, I'm in my living room.
It's formed to my butt. Is that what you're trying to say?
Not in my chairs. Well, like someone else is in my chair.
Right.
You know.
Yeah, that seat is formed to my butt. So you're sitting in.
Well, trust me, won't be tomorrow.
Hopefully it's
I have ruined that.
Hopefully it's a little bit
the visual
smaller
everyone
is
needed
what
this morning.
You needed. There you go, everybody. Yeah, we swapped around. We're in different spots this morning.
This truly is such a lawless show. I mean, we're all in different spots all the time.
Lawless is what she said.
We talk about, I love the chaos. We were talking about there hasn't been a show in weeks where everyone has been here in their normal spot.
Well, that's the best part, though.
Right.
You know?
We're so versatile.
Yeah.
Look at us.
It is more fun when you can just shake it up, right? You don't want to do the same thing all the time.
No, this is true. And you got you're going out to Stagecoach soon?
I am. I leave next week.
And then the ACMs? You got some great trips coming up.
So it's very interesting. I have 3 things that are happening all back to back to back, and they are exactly 22 days apart.
Oh, so what's the third?
CMA Fest.
Oh, okay. But that's in town, though.
Yeah, that's in town.
So
yeah, I leave next week. I'm so sad. I'm not going to be here for Bill's big day, his 30th anniversary. I'm leaving that morning, and I felt so terrible about it. But we're going to be flying out there. It's going to be so much fun. Stagecoach is huge, of course. And this year, it's going to be streaming not only on Amazon Prime Video, but also on Amazon's Twitch channel. So you can go to Amazon Music on Twitch and watch the entire thing. not only performances, but interviews with me and Amber Anderson. And our podcast started today. Our first episode of season 5 is out, so you can listen to that. I'm just plugging all the things I do all the time. So, yeah.
And it's going to be warm, but not like insanely hot
80s.
like it was last year.
80s. It's going to be gorgeous. I'm very excited.
Now,
last year was 105.
Speaking of Stagecoach, hear me out. I know that there's always a big surprise guest that flies in on a helicopter.
Yeah.
Should I share my prediction for who I think it's going to be?
Oh. Please,
And you being the Stagecoach expert, let me know.
Okay.
Beyonce.
Oh, wow.
Who else? Think about it. Who else would it be? I think people would almost be disappointed at this point if it wasn't her.
Right? I can tell you that has not been on our radar. Because we do have to prep for all the interviews and everything.
Do you know who it is?
No.
Oh, okay.
No. Last year we did an interview with Diplo, which was really out of the box for me.
I love Diplo.
Yeah.
Which is, he was great. You know, this year I really, fingers crossed, knock on wood, that we'll get to talk to Post Malone.
Oh, that'd be great. Yeah.
So just because they're so out of our genre, and I, usually get to talk to a lot of our friends in country music. So anybody that's not normally in our sphere makes me a little excited.
My gut feeling is she is going to pick a more climately controlled venue if she's going to surprise everyone. I don't think she's going to show up when it's 100 degrees in the desert.
It's going to be 88 degrees in the desert.
You know
That's fair.
It's actually not far. She's in LA, right? So, I mean, if you're going to do something, just hop on over.
Do you have your bandana ready?
Yeah, I've got several.
Okay.
I've got. I have one that has my name on it. Aaron and I have matching bandanas that we got at Jelly Roll's #1 party.
We got everything at that party, didn't we?
We sure did. One of us got something permanently inked on her body. It wasn't me. It was really good. Okay, so speaking of permanent ink, let's talk about Ashley McBryde. She has a tattoo that's really special. She has several tattoos, but she said there's one that really means the most to her. You're seeing a picture of her on all of our streaming devices. If you are watching us on Circle Now or Peacock or Roku, you see she has the eagle on her chest. She has several that are on her arms all the way down. But she said there's one that really just went from a conversation to permanent ink. She was talking to this tattoo artist named Nancy Miller in Jacksonville, Arkansas. A friend recommended her because I'm like, ooh, Jacksonville, not really the hotbed of tattoo artists that you would think of. But there she was. And she said, I really loved all the different paintings that she had done that were like American traditional style tattoos. And those were the paintings that were on the wall, and it started talking to her about them. And she told her story about just dropping out of college and coming to Nashville to pursue her dreams in country music. And that's where they decided that she needed a tattoo on her arm that just says, be brave. Those are the 2 words, be brave, on her left arm. How cool. I'm like, yeah, you know what? That one has a special meaning. She's always going to think about how brave she was coming to Nashville, dropping everything to chase her dreams. So very cool. I don't have any tattoos. Do you?
No, but I think it's going to happen sometime
We're talking
soon.
you into it.
Yeah, only because I've kind of wanted one for a long time, but my theory was like, well, I don't know what this thing is going to look like when I get old, and I'm old already, so it doesn't matter what it looks like. I'm going to start doing all the things, you know?
Oh, gosh.
Because it doesn't really matter anymore, you know? When you get this close to the end, it's like, what the hell?
I'm very nervous about what that means. That makes me very nervous. I'm going to start doing all the things. I'm like, oh, wait a minute. So the Bill Cody 30th anniversary tattoo, where's that going?
We're all going to get a big BC on our biceps and show up to the show that way.
That's part of your initiation.
I will move to Vancouver and get tickets to the BC Lions if I do that.
There you go.
Rather than explain what that really is supposed to be.
We should all just get them on our lower back with a dolphin jumping over a sunset. That's like total Panama City. It's BC, 30 years. There it is. Just kidding.
By the way, Jacksonville, Arkansas is 15 miles from Little Rock. So it's just a Little Rock. So it's not quite the middle of nowhere. So.
It just felt like I don't know where Jacksonville is. It's kind of crazy. Jelly Roll debuted a brand new song with you at the Grand Ole Opry on Tuesday night.
Loved it. Gave him a standing ovation for it.
So I didn't even know. He mentioned this. He dropped this on us, Aaron, when we were at his #1 party. He said, hey, I'm going to have new music in April. Everyone on his label literally looked at each other and went, what did he just say? Did he just say he has new music coming in April? Because we don't know anything about that. So it was kind of like this, ooh, by the way, surprise, I'm going to drop something on you. And I think that this may have been what he was thinking about. It's called Liar. He said, I feel like this is a safe place to play a new song. Is that okay with y'all? might not ever release the song, but I want you to hear it. I think he'll probably release it.
I think from the reaction, he goes, "Oh, we may have to put this out," So,
by the way, I have to tell you this. I found the story. I believe this one was on whiskeyriff.com, which is one of the places that I always check out. And they said, this is so cute. Hold on. I have to read this because I was so proud of you. It says, after an energetic introduction, Jelly Roll walked out on stage and got the crowd fired up.
Oh,
Mr. Announcer Man with the energetic introduction.
Congratulations. You got a little right up there on Whiskey Riff. And we got more entertainment headlines coming up in just a little bit. Plus, Darin and Brooke Aldridge will be in studio with us. They have a brand new album coming out tomorrow. We'll give you all the details. Good morning, everybody. Darin and Brooke Aldridge made their way into the studio on a strong wind. They opened the door and they came rushing in. Congrats on all the good things, y'all.
Thank you. We're always so glad to be with you.
Like, this brand new album is out. You already have a #1 single. You're playing the Station Inn and the Grand Ole Opry. Let's just do all the things all together.
That's where we like it. Fell into place, yeah.
That's amazing. So how many albums does this make?
This is number 9 for us.
Number 9,
Yeah.
called Talk the Town.
That's right.
And I was just telling y'all, we have a show here in Nashville that's been on for 30 plus, almost 40 years, called Talk of the Town. I was like,
nice.
did y'all get booked on the Talk of the Town show? Because
Seems kind of fitting.
it does.
Well, when our buddy
does.
Brian Smith sent the first release, I'm like, oh, they're doing Channel 5. I'm like, oh, no, that's the name of the album, Talk of the Town. I
That's
literally,
it.
that was my first thought. So,
Oh, it's so good to see you guys.
Good to see you, too.
Thanks for coming in.
Always a pleasure.
Still make your home in North Carolina, right?
We do. Cherryville, North Carolina, or Cherryville if you're from there.
Cherville. Yeah, making it all the way here. And you stayed last night in Mount Juliet?
Yep.
We did.
Okay. So
We
just a
knew it
little
was
bit.
bad when we got on 40 off the exit and we seen brake lights and parking lot.
Oh, that's our favorite color here.
Yes.
yeah.
That brake light red, that is the state color. That you think it's orange, it's not. Unless it's the orange of the barrels that are up all around. But
Tennessee orange, right?
you got
Well,
here.
there you go.
go.
So let me ask you, was there ever a thought to actually moving to Nashville? Or is there a beauty of kind of staying a little further away?
Both.
Yeah.
We still talk about it a lot. We started talking about it early on in our career, but just didn't feel like it was the right time. And we might even get a place out here at some point just to be back and forth still, but keep our main home in North Carolina because
We're out here
that's
about half
where
the
our hearts
time
are.
anyway.
Yeah.
we
So-
are.
Yeah. Lori McKenna, one of the great songwriters, she has never moved. She's always stayed in Massachusetts.
Yeah.
And I asked her one time, were you ever pressured? Did you ever feel like you had to move to Nashville? And she goes, no, I think if I moved to Nashville, I would feel like I'd have to work all the time. And staying home lets me be a mom and I can work when I want to work. And
Yeah.
I loved that idea,
Yeah.
Yeah,
So
that
Well,
really
and there
right.
is something that's very cool about, like, they're only here for this window of time. So you need to talk to them. They've got 4 days or 3 days or whatever it is. So you get it all done. There's that, immediacy for people. Like, oh, I'll talk to them next week.
yeah, if you're
No.
always here, right? It's,
Right.
yeah, okay.
That's
Yeah.
right. Justin Moore, same thing. He moved back to Arkansas, and he's like, I come to town, I get my business done, I go back home.
That's
So
right.
it's kind of great. So how long does it take to drive?
6 hours.
You've got it down. You know where you stop? Do you stop at Buc-ee's?
We
Yeah,
did last night.
Most of the time. We do if it's later because during the day it's just too chaotic.
Yeah.
Go to Bucky snacks.
Late.
Beaver nuts.
Oh, yeah, they're good.
Do?
They're
Okay.
good.
Do
Yeah.
you ever do the brisket?
I
Yes.
have.
He likes the turkey
Yeah,
actually.
that's a little
Okay.
better. It is
Okay.
better.
I haven't done the turkey.
Have you tried the cookie dough bites with the sprinkles?
I haven't. I've looked at them many times, but I passed them by and went for the fudge.
Oh, there you go.
Can't go
Yeah.
wrong.
It's good.
The wall of well, they're not Slurpees, but you know what I'm talking about. The slushies. That's what
see.
he'll do a little. My son will do a little bit of every flavor. They make the suicide
suicide.
the suicide
Yeah, we
slushie.
used to do that.
Yeah.
to do
The
that.
chopped brisket though is my favorite.
It's delicious.
Yeah.
I love this.
So-
Maybe you could get a sponsor. We'll get it for the next
Maybe.
album.
That's
True.
right.
Oh
Brought to you by
yeah.
Ryan be working on that.
Fueled by
Darin Brooke and
Buc-ee's.
Bucky's. Yeah.
Well, talk to us about putting this together. How long did it take to get Talk of the Town put together?
We have actually been working on that for a couple years. We released the first single. It was called Jordan with Ricky Skaggs and Mo Pitney, and it came out early last year. And it was like 5 months at #1 on the gospel charts for that, and streamed over a million since its release.
That's
and the video
incredible.
too. So that was very exciting. So we said, well, we might want to finish this album.
Okay, I was going to say, was that just one of those, hey, we've got this great song, let's put it out,
Right,
see what
yes.
happens, and then it kind of morphed into
We did
full
that
album?
one first, and
Okay.
then started gathering more songs, and had another session, and then another session, and finally got it out.
When do you know the project is finished? I'm a tinkerer by nature. Whenever I start something, I don't know that I ever quite finish it. So I think it would be really daunting to be like, okay, this is done. We're going to put a bow on it. Here it is.
We know when the record company says it needs to be done by this time.
Deadlines are good.
We turn it in a month after that.
Okay, good,
That's
good,
when we
good.
know it's getting close.
Well, I've always said an album, by the time it comes out, it doesn't feel new to us anymore because we've listened to it so many times, trying to get it just how we want it. And I would sing all day if Darin would let me. I'd be like, I don't like that. I'm going to sing it over again. He's like, no, that's
Do it
fine.
again. Do
You
it
got
again.
it done.
Yeah.
You've got it done. Yeah, well, and it's also nice when you know you've got this many hours in the studio. Like we've got 4 hours and we're done. We're out at 5 p.m. or
That's
whatever.
right. And only so much money, so.
Well, there's that too. So, but do you often find that by take 22, it's not going to get any better, and maybe the first couple were the best? Or does that happen more often than not?
Yeah, definitely. I'll listen back to after take 22, I'll listen back to the first couple and I'm like, well, that was fine. Why didn't I like that?
Yeah.
Brooke just loves to sing. She just keeps
Aw.
singing.
I
Keep
would.
singing.
I
Yeah.
would, yeah.
Yeah. Well, you've been justly rewarded for singing. What, 4-time female vocalist of the
have
year
been.
with the IBMA?
Yeah, honored. So it's just always an honor to be recognized with the women that I get recognized with, and
Yeah, but it's better to win, though.
well,
I mean, I love being recognized, but
sure.
I don't want to put words.
Since you have to
That's
listen,
the only child.
I know it is.
since you have to listen to your album so many times over and over, and it, like you said, it's not new to you by the time it's ready to go. Who are some of the people that you turn to listen to your work for the first time with fresh ears, so that you can get feedback from
your
it? Or
sounding board.
Yeah.
Oh, well, our parents
Mm-hmm.
are one. But usually some of our close friends that are, they are musicians, but they're not professional musicians. So they're not out on the road doing it all the time. So it's kind of like, it's fresh to them and they're not like overwhelmed with, stuff we're throwing at them because they don't have to live it all the time, So we'll throw it at them sometimes
Yeah.
and ask their opinion. So
We've had a lot of mentors along the way, and we've got to tour with and travel with. John Cowan's one, Jimmy Fortune's one, Vince Gill's one, and we let all of them hear it just about every time. Let them critique a little bit.
Wonderful.
Have you had a lot of people that have come back and said, you know what, why don't you try this? Or if somebody trusted me to listen to their music, it would be very hard for me to come back with an actual, you really should bring down this on this track. You know what I mean? Like that feels very personal. Do you get a lot of little tweaks here and there? I mean, if
much,
Vince
but
told you
just-
something, I would take it to heart.
Right, yeah. And we cut a couple of his tunes on this record. So I wanted
Oh.
to make sure we got them exactly right the way he wanted them.
Which
to.
ones?
We did a song called A Million Memories,
Okay.
a song for Byron. And that's the last cut on there. And Vince sang it with us as
Yeah, I
well.
see that. That's
A
cool.
very personable song for him and for me both, because he was talking to us over the winter and about Christmas time, and he said, I've got a couple new tunes I'd like to pitch you and for the album, and I've asked him for songs for a little while, and he sent over a couple and then sent that song, and I thought he had actually sent that by mistake. And I said, you really want me to do that song? I heard you do it for Byron on the Opry after he passed. He said, no, I think it'd be a great song for you to sing. And I said, man, that's such a good story. And he said, well, you come up in bluegrass like I did and started with a country gentleman when you were 19. So it kind of fits, And he said, I wanted to get out there for Byron Berline as well. And I said, well, I want you to sing it with us as we do it.
Oh, that is so special. That's amazing. And as we mentioned when you guys came in, we've got the show that's happening tonight. So that's going to be Station Inn. You're going to be there what time?
6 o'clock.
6 o'clock.
Early show tonight.
That's like on our schedule. I love that.
Early
yeah.
show.
Yeah.
Like, we might be able to do
Come
that
on
one.
by.
It's pretty good.
Would they give you the
bed
key
by
to the
8.
place? Because normally 9 o'clock is where. Yeah, so we're opening ourselves. Yeah.
So Station Inn tonight, album release. You're going to be at the Opry with us tomorrow night, which is super special.
Yes.
And you already have a #1 on this album that just comes out technically tomorrow.
right.
Yes.
Yeah. So talk to us about that because we're going to play it right now.
Well, it was a great song. The Desert Rose Band did many years ago. Mr. Chris Hillman and Bill Wilds wrote this song. It's called The Price I Pay. And I loved their version of it, but I told Darin I wanted to kind of bring it back around, and we even got Chris's approval. So that was really, really special. He played it on his show on Sirius XM, The Burrito Stand, and so that was really cool when it first came out. But we had a special guest, and Darin knows a lot about him.
Mr.
So.
John
Yeah,
Jorgensen,
absolutely.
everybody's favorite. Great musician. I got to travel with John in 2018 and 19 in the bluegrass band. And so when we thought about doing this song, he had such a killer intro to this on the Desert Rose Band on the electric guitar. So we said, man, we're going to cut it kind of a bluegrass style, come up with something. We want you to be on it. So he did, and it's amazing, and y'all get ready to hear it.
More coffee, country, and Cody is on WSM.
We are having the best chat this morning with Darin and Brooke Aldridge. They've got a big weekend, y'all. New album is out. Album release party tonight. Tomorrow night playing the Grand Ole Opry. I mean, anything else you want to throw in there? You guys want to buy a house while you're here in
We
Nashville?
might get a few minutes to go
We
look
found a
at
good
it.
deal.
Sure. I mean, seriously, you're here all the time.
Oh yeah, Nashville housing market, rock bottom prices the
Sure.
last decade or so.
That's
great.
why we've not moved.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, so. Hey,
Still making your home in Cherryville.
it just dawned on me how special this hotel is for all of you. I mean, because you guys got engaged here at the
Oh my
Opryland
gosh.
Hotel. Kelly and her husband met for the first time at the Opryland Hotel.
Yeah.
And this may be the last time you guys are with us in this studio. Because, in a few months we'll be getting a new
moving.
home over on the Opry Plaza. So, yeah, so
I know.
I'm a little nostalgic about it, though, to be
Where
honest.
did you,
Yeah.
where did you get engaged?
Just in the garden right out there.
Yeah.
Yeah, Darin walked me around for 2 hours in Stiletto Hills, and I
Now,
thought,
don't tell that.
well, I didn't know what he was up to, but he kept saying, "I want to get down there to that waterfall," and I was like, "Why? What's important about that waterfall?"
Oh,
Because he had looked it up online, but
I saw it before, but
but you
couldn't
couldn't get to it.
a whole lot at that time. That's been 17 years ago
Uh-huh,
now. And and we walked over the bridge, right there. And I was like, how do you get down there? So we did walk a while. And we had reservations over here. And then she's starting to get a little upset there.
he was
For a little while
he was
till I
second
got on
guessing,
one
weren't
knee,
you?
and then more things changed then, didn't it?
So you were. I was like, "Oh," when he bent down on one knee. I was just like, "I've been so hateful," and that's so out of character for me. But my feet were really hurting.
That's the thing, though. You got to get the full package. You
That's
knew
right,
at that
yeah.
point. You're like, well, all right.
This is what I'm getting.
Walking
I've
around
seen her
hangry
act
too.
like that since.
Walking her around for hours in high heels and then not feeding her till later.
I know.
That's what you get. Well, you're learning.
Yeah.
It's okay.
Walking her around because you were nervous waiting to do it, or that was part of the plan of, let's
No,
take
it
our
was a little bit trying
time.
to get to that certain spot.
He just
Okay.
couldn't find
and
it.
we wanted to tour around a little bit. And I couldn't picture how to get down there.
It can be a minute if you're not familiar. This is
It
a
is,
very,
yes.
very big hotel. So, yeah. Next time you'll see us, we'll have a brand new studio. Y'all have to do a vow renewal or something in there to make it
Ah,
special.
that
How's
sounds
that?
good.
That's a good idea.
Okay.
Well, how
We'll
many
just-
years?
It's 15 now.
Yeah.
Oh, well,
Yeah.
maybe
It'll be-
20.
That's
That'd be
right.
that'd be a special way to celebrate.
Oh, I
Yeah.
like that.
Yeah.
All right.
I had a
Plan
couple
it.
at the Opry the other night celebrating their 70th anniversary.
Years.
Did they get married when they were 10?
Well, that's what I was doing. Yeah.
I mean,
Yeah.
seriously.
I'll be 111 if I make it to 70 years.
Let's go. We set a goal.
He does walk a lot and is in good health, but I don't know if we're going to do that. The new album, Talk of the Town, comes out tomorrow. Darin and Brooke Aldridge with us. You guys are going to do one, Wildflower 2. This is it. Well, tell us the backstory on this song before you play it.
Okay. This song was actually inspired after we went to Texas. We were there for an Easter sunrise service at a ranch out there, and all the bluebonnets were blooming. And I told Darin, I said, when we got home, I said, that was just really something to see. And I've always kind of wanted a song about wildflowers, kind of like Dolly. And so we sat down with our good friend Bill White and came up with this song. And it was a single that we released off this album to start with, and it's done really well for us. So it's a sweet song.
That is beautiful.
Thank you.
Darin and Brooke Aldridge with us. Okay, I'm looking at the back cover. First of all, the coloring of your album is so pretty and happy. It looks like a sunshine almost, like a little bit of a rainbow flare, and I absolutely love that because it puts me in a good mood. But the back has this just darling little town. So where is this with the Rexall drug sign right there prominent?
Well,
We're not real sure.
yeah, but it looks a lot like our little
Kind of
hometown.
looks like
It does.
Cherryville.
Okay, you can
Sure
lie to
does
me and
uptown.
tell me I wouldn't know.
No, it really does.
No,
It
but there's
does.
a picture in there that is from Cherryville.
Okay. Which one is that? The one of y'all sitting on the counter?
No.
No.
The mural.
They did a mural of Brooke and I in our hometown last year.
You have a mural?
Yeah.
That's
In your
another reason for
hometown?
Talk of the Town.
Oh, that is so cool. And it's very well done. You know, sometimes when people tell you they're going to do a mural of you, you got to have a little bit of a like, oh, dear Lord, what is this going to look like? We've seen those go wrong, right?
Yes,
but that one looks beautiful.
This guy's name is Scott Nurkin that did it. He does the North Carolina Musicians Trail. And he's done probably 20 or 25. Randy Travis to Earl Scruggs, Don Gibson,
Jimmy Wayne.
I mean, it's
The list goes on,
a
yeah.
bunch there.
is
And
so cool.
Doc and Merle Watson.
Yeah.
So we were honored when we talked to him about doing the mural.
I thought
for
it was a
us.
picture. I didn't
Yep,
even know that was
it's
a
great.
mural.
That's it.
amazing. That's so pretty. Yeah. How
It's a
long
great
did you
one.
know him? You started when you were 19. Is that right?
I started with the Country Gentleman. Now, Vince, young, right out of high school, went to play with Byron.
Yeah. He was a
Did a
baby.
lot. Yeah.
Mm.
He said he's about the same age, so.
I just looked it up. It was 2021, so it's been almost 3 years since Byron's been
Mm-hmm.
there. Wow. That is incredible.
And Vince has been that mentor for me over the years, too, so it's very special.
Thank you guys for coming in.
Thank you.
Thanks for
having
making
us.
the time. I'll see y'all be on the podium on
Oh,
Friday
cool.
night, so
Oh,
I'll get to
good.
see y'all again. But tonight, station in, everybody. It's the record release party. You can download it, stream it. Darin and Brooke Aldridge with Talk of the Town. They are certainly the talk of the town this morning, being in here with us. We've got more on the air right here on WSM. Good morning. We're hanging out. It has been a fun morning already. Thanks for being with us. Coffee Country and Cody. I'm Kelly Sutton. Charlie Mattos is here. Aaron Cooper running the board flawlessly.
Oh,
I got
you're too
Andy
nice.
and I running all over the place, giving us cues.
Yeah.
Jeff Roberts has kept us on the air. Things are rolling, friends. I don't know what else you want from us. This is the best we got.
It
Pretty
truly
good,
is
right?
a miracle.
It
is really a
not.
miracle.
It is not. Have faith in yourself, sister. You're killing it back there.
Thanks, Kelly.
Oh, yeah. We're pumping each other up.
It's like when Gary Muledeer says, "Let it out, folks. It doesn't get any better."
Doesn't get any
This is what we got.
This
So,
is what we
yeah.
got. Hey, coming up, we've got entertainment headlines for you. Jamie Johnson going out on tour. Luke Bryan has a very unfortunate allergy. We'll tell you all about that. Plus, 420. Some people are celebrating it like it's a big holiday. I'll tell you.
That's
who.
country music for you.
Country music. You can make sure that you are prepared because we do have some fun stuff that's coming up. Also, Chase Bryant's going to come in and hang out with us. Got new music on the way, so he'll be here in just a little bit.
More Coffee, Country, and Cody is on WSM.
Welcome back, everybody. We have lots of coffee going around here this morning. We just poured some straight black. He didn't want any creamer, didn't want any sugar. He just wanted to come in and get some fully leaded in his system before he plays for us. Chase Bryant, how are you?
Good to see you.
It's good to see you.
Thanks for having me.
You had a late night?
Yeah, well, I mean, not too late, but it was late enough. Yeah.
Late enough.
Late enough. So playing at Analog.
Yeah, we played there last night. Did a label event over there, and it was good to come to town and play. I was thinking about it. I think the last actual time that I played in town that was probably Brad Paisley at Bridgestone Arena. So it was fun to go from that to this other room, this smaller room, and it was good. It was really intimate, and we were really loud, so that took out some of the intimacy, but it was good. Yeah.
That tends to happen when you're in there. So you have been doing a really cool series of projects,
Yeah.
not to give too much of it away, but beginning of the year, you're like, hey, I got a lot of stuff that's in the hopper. We're going to start rolling it out.
Yeah.
First one came out in January. That was Somerville.
Yes.
Is that right?
Yes.
And then we just got the drop on Ashland City.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. So we, it's funny. I've been making this joke that's really not a joke. I need to quit saying that because it's not a joke.
It's not a joke.
But,
It's your
I've
art,
got,
man.
Yeah, I've got this red Craftsman toolbox full of hard drives, and since about 2017, 2016, I've just been backlogging recordings. I just was recording full-length records, and my manager finally called me one day, and I was joking about this when I came in, but saying, you kind of sit around and wonder, when's the next one coming out, or when's the next song coming out? And, he was like, we need to get all these EPs out. We need to just break down these records into EPs and just get it all out in the world. What's the worst that can happen? And so I opened up these hard drives, and there we are now. So, yeah, we're talking about 5 EPs this year, plus, who knows, maybe another full length or something. But,
So how old is the oldest song?
oh, God. There's some that are quite old. I mean, some of them, one of them that I wrote with Keith Gaddis and Ray Wiley Hubbard is probably 5 or 6 years old. And then there's some in there that date back like right when I moved to town. I mean, like there's some songs, there's some songs that are quite old on some of these projects, but I think the recordings at the latest, there's a record coming, the fourth EP I made in a cabin out in the middle of Alabama with my live band. Like we went down there in a U-Haul truck, hauled recording gear, stayed there for 2 weeks and made a record down there. And I think that was done in like 2017, 2018. But it's really weird because I thought it would be so dated, you know, but it's like it sounds more now than it did then, you know. So it's really wild.
Isn't that cool? The wonderful thing about that is that you kept everything.
Yeah.
The terrible thing about that is if you're like me, that just enforces the hoarding nature of don't ever throw anything away.
Yeah. Well, I'm definitely not a hoarder. I throw everything away.
Okay.
I'm very like kind of minimal about what I try to keep. But with these hard drives, it was like it's been fun to open them up and find versions of songs that were, you know, different versions of Take It On Back and different versions of A Little Bit of You or Change Your Name or things that were off my first EP. And then knowing that, like the song Heart Ain't a Hotel on Ashland City, I think that I had 4 or 5 different versions of that. So doing mix recalls was like, which version do you want to use? Do you want to use, you know, it's just wild.
Well, you know, Bob Dylan through the last 20 years or so has had great success with the bootleg series where they go back. You've literally found your own bootleg series, which is kind of great. So, and sometimes the distance between recording something and hearing it back changes the meaning of it too. Have you found that to be the case?
Yeah, well, it's nice because I haven't listened to a lot of it in a long, long time. And it's just nice to kind of recall these things. Now, what's weird, though, is that the last 2 projects that I've released, most 90% of it is me playing it. I mean, the first one was me playing literally everything on the record in a small bedroom at our house up in Ashland City. And then the second one's kind of like 90% of it is me playing the stuff. So like last night getting ready for the gig, I'm like rehearsing and I'm going, oh no, I'm playing the bass part, or oh, I'm thinking about the organ thing, or oh, I'm thinking about this. And like we're playing a song last night and I totally blanked on a lyric because I'm going, oh crap, like that's the B3 organ,
right.
You know, like I'm like in this headspace where I'm trying to relearn all this music. It's been fun. It's been a challenge, you know.
The fact that your brain works that way, though, that you can conceptualize all the different parts, and that's where your brain's at. You didn't just forget the lyric. It's like, oh, I'm playing an entirely different instrument on this one. That's
well,
insane.
the fact my brain works at all after these number of years is quite honorable, you know. But
we all can relate
Jerry
to that.
House's memoir, Country Music Broke My Brain.
Yes.
Yeah, that
I'm
happens.
gonna write a book one day called "Recoupable Against Your Future Earnings."
That's an album title too. Come on, make that one of the EP titles.
That is so inside baseball.
Yes, I
Everybody
love
that's
that.
in the music industry
love
totally gets that.
Yeah.
That's
But-
awesome.
But no, it's been a really fun process, and it's just been really interesting to just have 5 bodies of work that are really dynamically completely different from one another, and just kind of getting phone calls from different people as to like, I wonder who's going to like this, and then you get the phone call and it's like, I really love this EP, and then, you know, it's just been really cool, you know.
So we were talking about Easter eggs, and of course the queen of doing any kind of Easter egg or like foreshadowing is Taylor Swift. As soon as you get anything from her, you're dissecting it. And I immediately thought of the first project that you had, Somerville, and then this one's Ashland City. And I'm like, so are all of these going to be named after cities?
So they're all made after places the projects came from. So Coyote Grullo is going to be the next project coming out, and that came from the stretch of the bay that I lived on in Texas.
Okay.
You know, I was in a town of like 50 people making records, and funny story about that, if I can just say this really quick, because I haven't got to tell this story yet, but I bought my grandparents' old house that I grew up really like growing up in, you know, my granddad's old pool hall where they used to go have like a beer after work or something. I turned that into my recording studio, rebuilt it, did the whole thing. And I had these those like lights you get at Home Depot that you can like change the color of the bulbs and all the LED structures and stuff. Well, there's one sheriff in town.
Okay.
And I was in there making that record, and I had him on blue. Well, I'm like in South Texas. No one does that. So he would come by at like midnight and drive by, and I could always see him stop and turn on his spotlight and look through the window. Because it probably looked like a drug lab or something, you know, with me having these blue lights on inside. And finally, one night, I walked out to the road, and I had to, like, tell him what I was doing. But anyway, so back to the story, yes. There are a lot of kind of Easter eggs on here, and I was telling you, you know, on the break, it's like you really got to you need to dive into, if you want to know where it's all going, you really need to dive into the first EP cover. And there's a lot of things that kind of tell you where it
There are
winds up.
hints. Yeah.
Well, it's you kind of got to zoom in and you got to do your kind of like market research on that first EP, and that'll tell you where it winds up.
Oh, I love it.
And no one on my team really knows that. No one knows like where it's going in the end, but I do, and that's cool. You know,
That's so cool. Okay, so we're going to play one right now. This is Tequila on the Rocks. It's on Ashland City.
Ashland City.
They came out on the 12th. Do you want to set the
Yes.
song up? Give us a backstory on
I
it?
wrote it with my good buddies Ryan Beaver and Neil Medley, and we were just trying to go to kind of Mexico in our mind, you know, and this song came out of it, and really proud of it, and so yep, Tequila on the Rocks.
We're hanging out with Chase Bryant. He has a new EP that just came out, One of a String. 2024 is the year of Chase Bryant. I hope that you already heard Somerville because that one came out in January. Ashland City just dropped a few days ago, hanging out with us here in studio. I'm so happy you stopped by.
Thanks for having me.
Yeah.
Appreciate it.
Love having this new music. You got a lot to choose from. So
Yeah.
what do you want to play live for us this morning?
I'll play Never Got Around to That first, if that's cool.
Yeah,
Play
tell
that
us
off the
about
new
this
EP.
song.
I wrote this with Casey Beathard and Ryan Tyndall a number of years ago. Love those guys. Casey Beathard was a dream right for me, and
He's so
I've written with him one time and got one of my favorite songs, and really excited for it to be out in the world now. So, yeah.
That's good. I saw Tucker just got married randomly in the
Really?
backyard. Yeah, his son goes, "Hey, Dad, before we go play tonight at the listening room, we want to get married. Will you do the honors in the backyard?"
Oh,
so
wow.
they got married in the
Awesome.
backyard and then went and played together.
Congrats.
Oh,
Tuck.
wow.
Isn't that cool? Yeah.
You know, this is almost 10 years to the day from the first time you ever joined us in studio, by
Really?
the way.
Oh,
yeah.
is it
It was
really?
March of 2014. Yeah. Take it on back.
Yeah, it was
Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah. So happy 10-year anniversary with us.
Chase Bryant this morning. Wow. What'd you put in that coffee? It's really good.
Put more of it.
And he brewed
Got a
it, so
ways
I'm
to
not
go.
sure.
You sound so good. I love that song. You said
Thank you so
Casey
much.
Beathard, and who else was writing?
Casey Beathard, me, and Ryan Tyndall.
Oh,
Yeah.
man.
Those
That
guys
was
know what they're
so
doing.
Good. So good.
When you first started playing, were you
Yes,
lucky
sir.
enough to find a lefty guitar, or did you learn to play upside down?
No, I learned to play upside down,
Okay.
and that's just kind of the
wow.
stubborn part of me. You know, everyone was always saying, "Well, you can't do that, you can't do that," and tell me I can't do something, and I'm gonna fight like
Yeah,
hell to
uh-huh.
do it.
Yeah.
You know?
And that's
well, in
why
theory,
he can
why
play,
couldn't you? I
Yeah,
mean, once you
can
learn it,
jump
it's the
up
way
and
you
touch
learn
the
it.
moon.
Yeah.
That's right.
and that's why he can play organ parts on the guitar.
Yeah,
That's
yeah,
right.
yeah,
He played it
yeah,
upside
yeah,
down for a
yeah.
while.
Don't
The
ask me to
brain-
demonstrate.
Brain works in all the directions. We
Yeah.
got time for one more song. You want to
Yeah,
do
I'd
one
love
more
to.
for us? What do you want
Let's
to do?
one. Let's do an older one.
Okay, up to you. You got a lot to choose from.
By the way, did the songs kind of instantly come back to you, or did you have to almost relearn a few of them from the
Well, they
EPs?
couldn't get out of the Craftsman toolbox.
Well,
I had
that's
to
a
get
good
them out.
Yeah, that's a good point. Yeah.
And you know, certain things did. I mean, like certain things kind of like never got around to. That's one of them that has stuck. You know, I've always loved the song, and so it kind of is there. But I think, you know, like I think there's certain ones that have taken me time to get back to know because I'm in a different headspace. You know, I'm a few years older than I was then, and so, you know, certain things take a little longer to kind of get readjusted to, but I'm getting there day by day.
Oh my gosh.
Thank you so much for getting up
Thanks
and
for having
coming to hang with us, man. It's so good to see you.
Good to see you guys. Thanks for having me this morning. I really appreciate it.
Congrats on all the good stuff. New EP, Chase Bryant. He's got more coming later this year as well, so make sure you're following along. He has all kinds of little tidbits and hints and stuff that you got to find out. Somerville was the first one. Ashland City is out now, and you just heard it all live right here on Coffee Country and Country.
Thanks.
Now available, new episodes of My Opry Debut.
Ladies and gentlemen, please welcome to the stage the Shindellas.
I'm Casey.
I'm Stacy.
And I'm Tam.
And we are the Shindellas.
We didn't know each other before we were introduced, and we sat in a room and we looked each other in the eye and we said, we're coming together to sing about self-love, self-worth, and self-respect, and to honor women.
Making their Grand Ole Opry debut, the Shindellas. No one since has had as much sparkle as those three ladies making their Grand Ole Opry debut. They looked like golden goddesses with sparkles head to toe. It was a beautiful, beautiful night. I love them so much. And they, of course, work a lot with our friends Lewis York. And they were there side stage watching them make their Grand Ole Opry debut. If you want to see it all, you can find it on the Opry's YouTube channel. Just go to YouTube, look for the Opry. All of our My Opry debuts are available to watch right there, including the Shindellas. I love those ladies.
Lewis York, quite colorful too in their attire.
Oh no,
those guys
they sparkle.
know fashion. Yeah,
they sparkle.
So.
And I did. I hosted an event with all of them. It was at Belmont University, and let me just say, the outfit changes. I just felt so.
It was a Christmas thing, right?
Under sparkle.
Was it a Christmas
yes,
thing? Yeah,
it was at Christmas, and I had sparkles on too. But when you know the Shindellas are there, you're like, I want to take it up a notch. But I became an unofficial Shindella that night because the encore, everyone is on stage singing, and they brought me out just to say goodnight. And so I'm there and I'm doing the doo-wops with them, and I'm like, oh, this feels so good. I love this. Somebody give me a tambourine and let me just go to town. So yeah, incredible, incredible night had by all. Let's talk about Jamie Johnson going out on tour, y'all.
All right.
We haven't seen him in a second. He usually shows up at the Grand Ole Opry, and thankfully he's there a lot of Tuesday nights because I love hanging out with him, love talking to him side stage. But he's got a big old tour. He's going to be doing a headlining What a View tour is the name of it. Starts off June 20th in St. Augustine, Florida, close to his home stomping grounds. Then he's going to be traveling all around, wraps it up October the 5th in Mississippi. Tickets are going on sale tomorrow at jamiejohnson.com. Now, I don't know, full band? Just solo guitar?
Yeah,
I'm not sure.
it works either way. That's the beauty, right? Yeah. So, and he's back at the Opry May 9th for Opry Country Classics.
So soon.
So that'll be a lot of fun.
Okay, so he's going to be hanging out there. By the way, we want to let everybody know, if you're listening, watching, we don't have Opry Country Classics tonight because it was last night.
It was.
You were there.
I was.
And
yes.
everything went swimmingly?
Yeah, it's funny. It's 2 nights in a row where the show ended and we couldn't close the curtain because the night before, Kelsey Ballerini decided she wanted to go out and meet all these
sign
fans.
Autographs.
And like Larry Gatlin bolts out into the crowd to autograph some lady's vinyl as the curtain is. So it got about 3/4 of the way down because the curtain weighs about 4,000 pounds. So you can't crush somebody with the curtain. So, I mean, it's a serious thing.
Is that a serious number?
Could you
actually
imagine?
2 tons?
Yeah, the old curtain, it's a new curtain. It might be a little lighter because it's brand new, but the old curtain, I think, seriously, was like 3,852 pounds. I mean, it was like some insane number.
I
Yeah.
still want a piece of that old curtain. If Dan's listening this morning, Dan Rogers, we love you. But I would make it into a jacket if they had enough fabric.
yeah,
I would do something really fun with
Yeah.
that. How cool would that be if you're like, this is the old Opry curtain and I'm wearing it now to host the Opry?
Dan's at his desk saying, oh, good Lord, another project. These people need to stop talking.
Would you just shut up already?
Yeah, but you know who was there? Our buddy Tim Duggar. And so Tim's been in studio with us.
Yeah.
It was only his second time performing in 2 years because he had some serious throat issues and had polyps removed.
I didn't know
and
that.
was worried that he could never sing again. So it was joyous to have him there. And you could just tell how appreciative he was to be able to do something that he loves again when it's almost taken away from you.
Yeah.
I mean, it's like us. Our voices are our lives.
That's what I keep telling you.
what
You
do we
got to warm
do?
up in the car on the way here.
Okay.
You can't just come in and start talking because you're straining. So it's like you start off with a low hum.
Okay.
You got to do some lip trills in between.
But how do I do that?
Lip trills.
Oh, that's a lip trill?
Yeah.
Oh,
Come
okay.
on.
Okay.
Let me hear it. Come on.
You can't do it.
No, I can
You
do it.
can't laugh.
How did this just go? Oh, Charlie.
No, I can't do
Come
it.
on.
Seriously, can't do it.
For anyone listening right now,
Maybe I'll just start talking.
please go back and watch this go down.
I can't
on
wait to
one
edit
of our
this.
streaming channels
this
because
is-
that is priceless.
Oh,
right
it's going to be
there.
on YouTube forever on the WSM radio channel.
There you go.
Okay.
There it is.
Well,
Okay.
you were making me sound like a donkey. I could make sounds.
You were making you sound like a
right.
donkey, not
Okay.
me, brother. All right. Let's talk about one of the special things that we have going on at the Opry. Speaking of which,
Oh, I got it now.
There you
now
go.
I'm in the rhythm.
There
of
you
it.
go.
It's
There
like
you
that
go.
morning you had us skipping.
yes,
And
you
we
got to.
had to think about how to do it again.
The brain has to
All right.
remember.
All right, continue.
We have some really cool things that are happening at the Grand Ole Opry, including a vinyl that comes out tomorrow. It's called We Still Can't Say Goodbye. It is a musician's tribute to Chet Atkins, of course, one of the all-time best guitar players. CGP. Erin's holding it up. She's
Gonna
doing
Vanna White this, right?
very, very nice.
Now take the
Very
vinyl
nice.
out, though.
Oh,
Show how
yes.
beautiful that kind of orange creamsicle swirl. It's
It
a
really
beautiful,
is
It's a beautiful. Look at that.
Ooh, and
Isn't
it's
that pretty?
marble.
It's the
Yeah.
tribute to Chet, and listen to the list of people who are a part of this: Vince Gill, Eric Clapton, Tommy Emmanuel, Ricky Skaggs, James Taylor, Alison Krauss, Brad Paisley, Sierra Hull, and many, many more. So you can get this starting at shop.opry.com tomorrow.
Yep.
Or
Oh, yes.
inside our Opry shop tomorrow if you're coming to the Grand Ole Opry.
Yeah.
So very cool.
Beautiful
Wanted to make
gatefold cover. Lots of great liner
Yes,
notes.
a fun
It's
little
a
insert too.
Yes.
that
I
we
like
got.
that.
numbered
so cool.
limited edition too. So it's kind of
Oh.
a collector's item.
I like anything limited edition. That makes you feel special. Okay, let's talk about Luke Bryan. You know, he's got this great song that he put out years ago, Hunting, Fishing, and Loving Every Day. He's not loving every day when he goes fishing because he's allergic to bass.
Not very country of him,
Just
Luke.
found that out.
Oh, gosh.
If his eyes are red and his lips are puffy, he says, I have not been smoking anything. I've just been fishing. All right, we'll take your word for it. Thank you again to Chase Bryant for coming by. To our friends Darin and Brooke Aldridge, their album is out. They've got their show tonight
And you'll
that's
see them,
happening.
See them at the Opry tomorrow.
I will
Yeah.
see them. It's Darin and Brooke Aldridge. John Conley's going to be there. Connie Smith, Blanco Brown hanging out with us. Gene Watson, Marin Taylor, Josh Sundquist is making his Grand Ole Opry debut, and Don Schlitz will be in the house. I'll be gone tomorrow, but you'll be here.
I'll be here. And Bill's back tomorrow from Vegas.
We
with
hope
some
so. We
hope
stories to
so.
tell.
We'll see.
But we brought us some money.
We'll see you then.